All right, YouTube. So here's what we're gonna do. I've seen some posts of people putting corrugated pipe on golf carts and drifting them. I have a golf cart, just not really into drifting that. So what I wanted to do was take some corrugated pipe, otherwise known as drain pipe, and try to put it on our go-kart. It's running the same size wheels as a golf cart runs. They are, let's see here, 18 by 8.5 by 9. I've got some 18-inch diameter corrugated drain pipe. I've got about 4 feet of it here, and I've got another 10 foot out back. So we're gonna try to cut a couple sections of this and get it on there. The tires that are on the go-kart, they are pretty old, pretty worn. They're kind of dry rotted. So I do not believe that they are in fact 18 inches in diameter. So I went to Walmart and I purchased a couple of doormats. They just look like this. I've already cut them, by the way, but they would go something like that. And I think that should give us enough of a enough material to kind of fill the void in between the tire and the pipe, only because the tire is a little bit worn down, like I said. So we are going to take this pipe out back, cut a couple of pieces, and then we will see what we can do to get them on there and to stay on there safely. So we will bring you right back. All right, guys, we're back. So we are going to cut 2 pieces of this. We're gonna do it we're gonna do it 9 inches wide, only to get as much of the tire to touch this inside as we can, to prevent it from flying off of there. It's the last thing we want to happen. So I've got my gloves on because this stuff can be kind of jagged once you cut it. And we'll go ahead and measure out here our 9 inches and mark that with a silver marker. So 9 inches will be here, and then 9 inches will be here. So measure twice, cut once, that's 9 and 9. There's that. And I'm just going to use a little reciprocating saw with a metal blade on it. It's all that I have, otherwise I might use a wood blade, but I don't have one. So let's see what we can do here. All right, there's one piece done. All right, there's the second piece done. So stop you there, get these burrs sanded off of there, just so they don't hurt anybody, and we'll bring you guys right back. All right, we're back. So we've cut the 2 pieces. We've got those sanded down, no more sharp edges. So we're gonna take our pieces of doormat that I have cut up, and we're gonna stick them. I've got some double-sided tape that'll actually stick to the tire. So I'm gonna stick some pieces to the tire, stick some pieces maybe to this. I might just see if we can just get them like that, maybe put some pressure on it and get them to stay. I know that it'll stick to the tire, so let me just cut some more. Put a couple on there and see what happens. here because unfortunately the mat is not long enough to go all the way around. So we'll have to do a piece there and then a piece maybe there. Originally I was gonna just wrap some duct tape around it, but I don't have any. So we're just gonna go with this. So there's a piece there, I need another one. Let's see, maybe right there. I'm just kind of making this up as I go. Put one there. Okay. I think if these were newer tires, probably wouldn't have to do this. And if this does not work, then I'll put the old tires from the go-kart on here. And we shouldn't have any issues with those. I just didn't want to have to change them around if I didn't have to. And I have already, I've already taken the valve stems out and let all of the air out. There might be 2 or 3 pounds in there. Just to give ourselves a little bit of working room here. All right, let's see if that works. They don't have to be perfectly even, I don't think, but so we'll put one there, there, put one there, and we'll put one there. Well, come on. There. And this tape is not doing anything except holding these pieces in place while we put the pipe on there and get it as center as we. Okay. All right. So now set that stuff aside. I did take some 80 grit sandpaper and sanded this down a little bit just to rough it up and give this stuff something to kind of grip to, I guess. All right, there's that one. So I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side, get it to this point, and then I'll bring you right back. All right, so we've got both sides, got the mat taped on there with some double-sided tape, and both of the pipes are on there. So I've got them somewhat centered on the tire. I figure the best way is just to leave them kind of loose, and I'm gonna let it down and kind of let the tire flatten itself out on the inside of this, and hopefully that'll keep us pretty straight. We'll see how that goes. All right, so We still have quite a bit of gap to fill. Might need to use one more piece of this depending on what we get when I pump the tires up. The tires say that they're rated 22 psi max. They do have tubes in them, so I could probably put 30. I just don't want to risk blowing them out. We'll see how that goes. If that does not work, I have these tires that came on the go-kart, and they are relatively new. You can see they still have quite a bit of tread on them. So they should be a little bit closer to that actual 18-inch diameter, which would fill up the inside of the 18-inch diameter pipe a little bit better. Same thing on that one, there's still quite a gap. So let me get some air in these. I'll start them at 22, see if they slide and wiggle and jiggle. If they do, I'll keep filling it up. Just kind of see how it goes.
Huge gap on the side. Alright, so I've got 30 psi in both tires. Let's lift it up and see if we have any play.
Moment of truth here. Nope. They seem pretty solid. All right. Well, let me put some gas in it and get it fired up, and we will bring you back for a test. All right, so I'd say all things considered, we had pretty good success. I slid off of the asphalt there And I don't know if I hit a rock or if it was just uneven enough that I unfortunately knocked this one off. So I don't think I mentioned it in the last part that I ended up putting 30 pounds of air in the tires. I tried it at 22, it wasn't enough. They were still kind of loose. 25 was all right. 30 seemed to be the sweet spot, but I may either have to do a second layer of the rubber mat that I used to space it out, or I might try putting a little more air in. I think I mentioned before that the tires are kind of dry rotted. I don't want to overinflate them and risk them going boom, especially with these things on there. As far as the drain pipe, the culvert pipe, it's held up pretty well. I took it out once before I filmed what you guys just saw. Just did a couple of little spins and slides in the front here, and they seem to have held up pretty well. You can definitely tell that they're starting to crack. You can see some of the seams. Let's see if I can bring you guys in here, show you what I'm talking about. You can start to see the seam like right there, and on this one you can obviously tell where I knocked it off and it's all wonky now. But all in all, they have held up pretty well. I'm kind of surprised, being that it's just single wall culvert piping. So I'd say it's definitely a success. I might tweak a couple things just to make them stay on there a little bit better, let them grip a little bit better. As far as the go-kart goes, it handles really well. I really need to get a hydraulic brake. Right now, it's just a manual. It just clamps together. It's kind of crappy. I have drilled and slotted it myself, which has helped a lot with stopping, but it's still, it's not great for the size of the cart and the weight that I am putting in it. As far as the cart goes, it's a 2001-ish model, I believe. Manco. It's the Fox brand. It says it, yeah, right there. Vortex 169cc. It's got suspension all the way around. It's a great little go-kart. I did not pay a lot of money for it. The engine that was on it was a little 169cc Subaru. Great engine, just not powerful enough. So I put a 301 Predator on it with a 40 series torque converter, reverse wound spring. I put some lighter weights and heavier springs in the drive unit, I believe that one. I think that's drive and that one's driven. I think I'm saying that right. I put, I custom welded my own little exhaust pipe here. Nothing special. Did the little cold air intake, and I put it was either 55 or 65 pound valve springs in it. So it boogies along pretty good, does what we want it to. It's for the most part just me and my oldest son that ride it, and it seems it definitely is not lacking any power. So I hope you guys like this. If you have any thoughts, comments, questions, concerns, what I maybe should have done different, if there's something that someone would like to see me do different, I'm happy to try to get that done and filmed. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching, appreciate your time, and I hope to be making some more videos. I might actually make a video of installing a hydraulic brake in place of that manual clamping system that's on there now. It's, like I said, it's just not really worth a fart. Anyway, so that'll wrap this one up. I'll try to get this one fixed and maybe bring you guys back to redo that, or revisit the drawing board for that, and then we'll get some more footage once I have my little helper back. We can do some more riding. So anyway, I appreciate it, and you guys take care.